Swami Vivekananda's journey took him from the bustling streets of Oakland to the serene landscapes of California, where he faced both grand opportunities and deep personal challenges. Discover how his travels and encounters shaped his mission as he navigated his responsibilities, personal tribulations, and the profound quest for inner peace. In this episode, we explore Swami Vivekananda's significant journey through Oakland and California, where his impactful lectures led to the establishment of a new center for meditation. We delve into his emotional struggles, interactions with his disciples, and his reflections on his life's work. Witness the poignant moments of his farewell visits and his growing desire for solitude and inner peace as he contemplates his mission and the future. Swami Vivekananda journeyed to Oakland as the guest of Dr. Benjamin Fay Mills, the minister of the First Unitarian Church, and there gave 8 lectures to crowded audiences which often numbered as high as 2,000. He also gave many public lectures in San Francisco and Alameda. People had already read his Raja Yoga. Impressed by his lectures, they started a center in San Francisco. The Swami was also offered a gift of land, measuring 160 acres in the southern part of the San Antone Valley. Surrounded by forest and hills and situated at an altitude of 2,500 feet, the property was only 12 miles from the Lick Observatory on Mount Hamilton. He at once thought of Swami Turiyananda, who could be given charge of the place to train earnest students in meditation. During his trip back to New York, across the American continent, the Swami was very much fatigued. He stopped in Chicago and Detroit on the way. In Chicago, he was the guest of the Hale family, and many old reminiscences were exchanged. On the morning of his departure, Mary came to the Swami's room and found him sad. His bed appeared to have been untouched, and on being asked the reason, he confessed that he had spent the whole night without sleep. "Oh," he said, almost in a whisper, "it is so difficult to break human bonds." He knew that this was the last time he was to visit these devoted friends. In New York, the Swami gave a few lectures at the Vedanta Society, which by this time had enlisted the active cooperation of several professors of Harvard and Columbia University. At the earliest opportunity, he spoke to Turiyananda about the proposed gift of land in Northern California, but the latter hesitated to accept any responsibility. The Swami said, "It is the will of the mother that you should take charge of the work there." Swami Turiyananda was amused and said with good humor, "Rather say it is your will. Certainly you have not heard the mother communicate her will to you in that way. How can you hear the words of the mother?" "Yes, brother," the Swami said with great emotion. "Yes, the words of the mother can be heard as clearly as we hear one another, but one requires a fine nerve to hear mother's words." Swami Vivekananda made this statement with such fervor that his brother-disciple felt convinced that the Divine Mother was speaking through him. He cheerfully agreed, therefore, to take charge of Santi Ashrama, the peace retreat, as the new place was called. In parting, the Swami said to Turiyananda, "Go and establish the ashrama in California. Hoist the flag of Vedanta there. From this moment, destroy even the memory of India. Above all, lead the life, and Mother will see to the rest." The Swami visited Detroit again for a week, and on July 20 sailed for Paris. Before continuing the thread of Swami Vivekananda's life, it will be interesting for the reader to get a glimpse of his state of mind. During the past 2 years, the Swami wrote to his friends, he had gone through great mental anguish. His message, to be sure, had begun to reach an ever-increasing number of people both in India and in America, and naturally he had been made happy by this fact. Yet he had suffered intensely on account of poverty, treachery, and my own foolishness, as he wrote to Mary Hale on February 20th, 1900s. Though his outward appearance was that of a stern non-dualist, he possessed a tender heart that was often bruised by the blows of the world. To Margaret Noble he wrote on December 6, 1899, "Some people are made that way to love being miserable. If I did not break my heart over the people I was born amongst, I would do it for somebody else. I am sure of that. This is the way of some, I am coming to see it. We are all after happiness, true, but some are only happy in being unhappy queer, is it not? How sensitive he was to the sufferings of men. I went years ago to the Himalayas, he wrote to an American friend on December 12, 1899, never to come back. And my sister committed suicide. The news reached me there, and that weak heart flung me off from the prospect of peace. It is the weak heart that has driven me out of India to seek some help for those I love, and here I am. Peace have I sought, but the heart, that seat of bhakti, would not allow me to find it. Struggle and torture, torture and struggle. Well, so be it then, since it is my fate, and the quicker it is over, the better. His health had been indifferent, even before he had left for the West. This sort of nervous body, he wrote on November 15, 1899, is just an instrument to play great music at times, and at times to moan in darkness. While in America, he was under the treatment of an osteopath and a magnetic healer, but received no lasting benefit. At Los Angeles, he got the news of the serious illness of his brother disciple Niranjan, Mr. Sturdy, his beloved English disciple, had given up the Swami because he felt that the teacher was not living in the West the life of an ascetic. Miss Henrietta Muller, who had helped him financially to buy the Balur Mott, left him on account of his illness. She could not associate sickness with holiness. One of the objects of the Swami's visit to California was to raise money to promote his various activities in India. People came to his meetings in large numbers, but of money he received very little. He suffered a bereavement in the passing away of his devoted friend, Mr. George Hale of Chicago. Reports about the work in New York caused him much anxiety. Swami Abhedananda was not getting on well with some of Vivekananda's disciples, and Mr. Leggett severed his relationship with the society. All these things, like so many claws, pierced Vivekananda's heart. Further, perhaps, he now felt that his mission on earth was over. He began to lose interest in work. The arrow, however, was still flying, carried by its original impetus. But it was approaching the end, when it would fall to the ground. The Swami longed to return to India. On January 17, 1900s, he wrote to Mrs. Sol Bull that he wanted to build a hut on the bank of the Ganga and spend the rest of his life there with his mother. She has suffered much through me. I must try to smooth her last days. Do you know, this was just exactly what the great Shankaracharya himself had to do. He had to go back to his mother in the last few days of her life. I accept it. I am resigned. In the same letter to Mrs. Sol Bull, he wrote, I am but a child. What work have I to do? My powers I passed over to you. I see it. I cannot any more tell from the platform. Don't tell it to anyone, not even to Joe. I am glad. I want rest. Not that I am tired, but the next phase will be the miraculous touch and not the tongue like Ramakrishna's. The word has gone to you and the boys and to Margot, referring to Sister Nivedita. He was fast losing interest in active work. On April 7th, 1900s, he wrote to a friend, My boat is nearing the calm harbour from which it is never more to be driven out. Glory, glory unto Mother, referring to the Divine Mother of the universe. I have no wish, no ambition now. Blessed be Mother. I am the servant of Ramakrishna. I am merely a machine. I know nothing else, nor do I want to know. To another friend he wrote, On April 12th, in similar vein, work always brings dirt with it. I paid for the accumulated dirt with bad health. I'm glad my mind is all the better for it. There is a mellowness and a calmness in life now, which never was before. I am learning now how to be attached as well as detached, and mentally becoming my own master. Mother is doing her own work. I do not worry much now. Moths like me die by the thousands every minute. Her work goes on all the same. Glory unto Mother. For me, alone and drifting about in the will current of the Mother has been my life. The moment I have tried to break it, that moment I was hurt. Her will be done. I am happy, at peace with myself, and more of the sannyasin than I ever was. The love for my own kith and kin is growing less every day, for Mother increasing. Memories of long nights of vigil with Sri Ramakrishna under the Dakshineshwar banyan tree are waking up once more. And work. What is work? Whose work? Whom to work for? I am free. I am Mother's child. She works, she plays. Why should I plan? What shall I plan? Things came and went, just as she liked, without my planning, in spite of my planning. We are her automata. She is the wire puller. In our next episode, we will explore the profound final reflections of Swami Vivekananda as he is nearing the end of his earthly journey. From his contemplations on the illusion of the world to his final interactions in Paris, join us as we begin to delve into the closing chapters of his remarkable life and witness his deep spiritual insights. Thank you for listening till the end. Please subscribe, turn on the notifications, like, comment, and share with your friends. This will help more listeners to discover our channel and content.